After having one of the best seasons in the past decade, the Cleveland Cavaliers looked destined for a phenomenal playoff run. They were taking the league by storm with rising young talent and a great surrounding cast of role players. Everyone was confident, playing the best basketball of their careers, and overall, it was just great vibes. They blew past the Miami Heat 4-0, looking like a real contender for the championship, and then everything just went out the window against the Indiana Pacers, falling 4-1. What happened? Well, there were a load of problems that the Cleveland Cavaliers encountered that ranged from injuries to key players, huge choke jobs, and overall lack of mental toughness. Before all of these issues arose, the Cavs looked phenomenal in their first round matchup against the Miami Heat as they picked up where they left off in the regular season. They averaged 126 points in this series, absolutely destroying the Heat in every facet of the game. They looked great and were proving to the league that they are truly a top contender in the league. But then they faced the Indiana Pacers and everything they built seemingly thrown right out the window. Today, I'm going to talk about the issues that led to the huge blunder in the Eastern Conference semifinals. For starters, the Cavaliers went into the series with their biggest impact stars missing significant time. Darius Garland was out for 2 games of the series, and Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter were out for the 2nd game of the series. It doesn't take a genius to understand why this was a huge blow for the Cavs. They essentially lost 2 of their key scorers in the starting lineup and missed their best 3-and-D guy coming off the bench. But what if I told you this didn't matter and the Cavs should have never lost the series 4-1 to begin with? In the first game, despite the Pacers shooting 53% from the field and 52% from 3, the Cavs kept the game very competitive, even though they were having an off night offensively. Donovan Mitchell was trying to play his best hero ball, but he was visibly gassed out by the 4th quarter because of how much they relied on him to get a bucket. You know it's bad when Ty Jerome is taking more shots than Mitchell in the 4th. Nonetheless, if they shot just a little bit better, this game was winnable. Things got worse in game 2 as Mobley, Hunter, and Garland were all out. But just like in game 1, this was another winnable situation. But this time, it was inexcusable. Despite having a comfortable lead to start off the 4th quarter, the Cavs allowed the Pacers to score 36 points, shooting 53% from the field and 66% from 3. They were up 7 points with less than 1 minute to go, and they blew the game in the worst way imaginable. Siakam missed both of his free throws, but Naismith got the tip-in dunk. Then Donovan Mitchell commits an avoidable offensive foul, giving the ball back to the Pacers, and they scored. They are now up only 3 points, and Max Strus throws away the final possession with a terrible inbound pass. Halliburton got to the line, misses his 2nd free throw, the Pacers got the rebound, then Halliburton put the Cavs to sleep with the game winner. This was an atrocious execution on the behalf of the Cavs, as they could have traveled to Indiana with the series tied. Game 3, Mobley, Garland, and Hunter all came back and they destroyed the Pacers despite still having a shooting slump from 3. Garland was clearly still hobbled by his injury, but the rest of the team was able to pick up after his lack of production. They played great defense and were focused the entire game. Then game 4 rolls around and this team begins to look like frauds all over again. They were getting steamrolled as they were down 43 points by the end of the first half. To make things even worse, as if it wasn't awful enough, Donovan Mitchell goes down and misses the entire 2nd half as he rolled his ankle during halftime warm-ups. Their body language was terrible and they were playing as if this wasn't a crucial game in the series. Mentally, they lost the series and it looked like they were just waiting for the game to be over with already so the pain and suffering could end. This was the worst performance from a number 1 seed that I've seen in a while, and there is a reason why they aren't taken seriously as top threats in the East. Game 5 was just straight up embarrassing. Garland was still affected by his injury, Mobley disappeared in the 4th quarter, Allen barely played in the 2nd half because he was not providing any value for the team, and Mitchell somehow found new life in the 4th quarter, scoring 16 points while the rest of the team sat back and didn't help. They lost the series, and just like that, they're going back to Cancun with no hardware to their names. It's hard to rally after a team that constantly does well in the regular season just to fall apart in the playoffs with injuries and embarrassing performances. The team wasn't as complete as people thought it was. They were missing that secondary playmaker that could pick up the slack after Garland went down, and they were missing a backup big that could help relieve minutes from Mobley and Allen. That was the key of emphasis for the offseason, and I could say they made some essential additions to the roster. After losing Ty Jerome to the Grizzlies in free agency, the Cavaliers traded Isaac Okoro to the Chicago Bulls for Lonzo Ball. This is a move that helps improve in the area that the Cavs lacked heavily in the playoffs: bench playmaking. They receive a defensive playmaker who's been a reliable shooter from deep for a majority of his career, averaging 38% from the three in his last 4 seasons. The main concern with this trade is the health issues that Lonzo has been dealing with for his entire career. Although he's a talented player, you can't rely on him to be healthy for an entire 82-game season, let alone the playoffs. If he manages to stay healthy, then this will be a great addition to the squad and hopefully become a missing piece this team so desperately needs. The Cavs also signed Larry Nance Jr., who will be an integral piece to the bench as he added a reliable 3-point shot to his arsenal, shooting 41% from deep last year, and is a switchable center who can add some solid defense to the bench unit. They signed Thomas Bryant, who's another solid addition to the bench as he's that energy guy that could come in and change the outcome of a game. He's that hustle guy that will fight and play hard in the minimal playing time that he receives. His value mainly comes from the culture he could bring to this team and the mental toughness, because this team was looking soft during their playoff series against the Pacers. I want Evan Mobley to take that leap as a player offensively and become undeniable, because he has that potential to be one of the top centers in the league. In my eyes, their season all comes down to how much work he put in this offseason to become better, because he is the X factor that can help determine the Cavs as true favorites to win it all. One of my concerns with the squad is the two-man combo between Darius, Garland, and Donovan Mitchell. Whenever they're in the game together, they are often targeted on offense, and for good reason. They are both tiny guards who can't guard the perimeter to save their lives, who are bailed out by having 2 great defensive bigs to cover up for their faults. I believe this is a make or break season, and if they underperform once again, they will need to decide whether to commit to the young guard Darius Garland or go all in on Donovan Mitchell as the captain of the ship. If they go with Garland, then you have plenty of time to build the proper pieces around him, as he is only 25 years old. Players like Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley are their best production-wise whenever Garland is in a game, because he is a shifty playmaking 3-level scorer who looks to produce offense for everyone on the court. So far in his career, he averaged 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists while shooting 45% from the field and 38% from deep. His role changed since Mitchell joined the team, since he's now more of an off-ball player. He did really well adjusting to the situation, but I think he works best when he's the man in control of the offense, sort of like CP3. No, I'm not comparing the two players. I'm saying CP3 is most effective whenever he's the one that's running the offense. Donovan Mitchell, on the other hand, has been an elite scorer and secondary playmaker since the day he entered the league. When he got traded to Cleveland, he was the clear #1 option, as he was coming off of a good year with the Utah Jazz, averaging 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. The Cavs ran their offensive engine through Donovan Mitchell, and you can't blame them because he is a juggernaut on that end of the floor. His ability to garner so much attention on his drives despite being 6'2" is ridiculous, and he's not afraid to go apart on a rim protector. He has never been a primary playmaker type of player, more of a score first, get others involved later playstyle. Mitchell evolved with the Cleveland Cavaliers, averaging a career high 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in only his first year with his new team. The Cavs got better with each year, but haven't pushed for a deep playoff run since his arrival. That's why I think this is a make or break season. If the Cavs fail once again, you're gonna have to choose between the both of them. You either face constant failure or make change big enough to finally make that leap and break through. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps show your support, and comment what you expect out of the Cleveland Cavaliers this season. I'll see you all in the next one.